Hello, welcome to the channel. This is The Charge. I'm Ben Alexander. Welcome to 2023. If I seem a bit wide, it's because I've had 6 shots of coffee today and it's only midday, so that's why. So this is going to be a bumpy ride. Top 5 electric vehicle myths. I literally spend my days waking up and I read through Facebook, news articles, Twitter, and I read all the latest news. And I also look at the comments underneath because I think they're really interesting. And there are also lots of people who like to tell people they're wrong in the comments. Ironically, people that know less than the person who made the initial comment. Kind of funny. So these are my top 5 that I chose to be the most common. I think it's not categorically a fact these are the most common, but I think they're the most common myths that I see. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe, consider subscribing. I make videos every day about electric vehicles, and at least give it a like. And if you didn't like it, give it 2 dislikes. Right, let's jump into it. Number 1 on my list, what happens to the batteries? And this is said with the suggestion that these batteries will end up in landfill, or they are basically the same as the 12-volt lead acid battery that you get under the bonnet of your car. This comment I see all the time, literally daily, and of course they don't. People are not really aware, like you and I probably are, that these batteries are a better technology than lead acid battery, which is batteries that is a very old technology. You know, they have computer chips on them. They don't know about leaving a buffer at the top and bottom of the voltage range to protect the battery and to give it a longer life. They don't really know about the thermal management systems on the car to keep the battery at a healthy temperature, because heat degrades batteries. They're not aware of these things. So in fairness, it's kind of good if people comment that, because then probably someone else will comment on that comment and put them straight. That's the hope, anyway. So of course, car batteries should be able to last 1, 2, 3, 4, 500,000 miles, depending on the car. I literally did see a video the other day with a Tesla that had 3 battery packs in it already, and it's done 300,000 miles. So that one is one of the first earlier generations of a Tesla. That does happen, you know. It happens to people that they go out and buy a new car, even a Honda or a Toyota with a really good reputation, and they break. They need a new engine. I mean, it's usually not Hondas and Toyotas, but you know, it does happen. Number 2 on my list, they have short range. Yes, compared to petrol and diesel cars, they have short range. We know this, but they're a lot cheaper than they used to be. This is still kind of early days in this period of transition. So relatively speaking, if you can get an electric car that you can afford with 200 miles on it range, that's all right. That's kind of average, I suppose. Not every car in the world that's an electric car can do, you know, 250, 300 miles, maybe like a Tesla, you know, because most people can't afford Tesla. So yeah, they kind of have short range, but they used to be really short when it was just the original Nissan Leaf, and it was a 24 kilowatt hour battery pack. So that was kind of an issue. But nowadays it's all right. It's doable. We just need to change the mindset. So you don't go to a place and charge up and then drive home and leave it on the drive for a week. The idea is that you when you buy an electric car, you change your mindset and you kind of use it like a phone. So you go home, you put your phone on a table, put it on charge, leave it. You go home, you drive, lift your flap up, and you put it on charge. That's kind of what at the minute is, I think, the best mindset to take with an electric car if you're going to go buy one. Also, you know, the quick house charging that you can get, even the quicker house charging, is not, it takes quite a few hours to charge up some of the larger battery packs that you get on electric cars. So I was talking to my brother who just bought a new Volvo, and it does take a long time to fill it up with electricity from like 20% to 100, even if you get 3-phase power at your house. So it's a bit of a concern, but that's what it is. We'll figure that out when we get to it. Number 3. Number 3, there isn't enough places to charge them. It's different technology. The idea is that we don't go to a place, kind of like I just said, we don't go to a place charge it up, go home, and we don't operate electric cars the same as petrol or diesel cars. You know, you can, if you're going on a long trip, 1,000 kilometers, you can drive down the motorway and you can charge it up and carry on. You can do that. But in that regard, I think people have a belief that there aren't enough places to charge them. And I'd still say that that's true. There aren't enough places, but it's, if you look at how many there were 5 years ago versus now, it's crazy how many more there are now. You can pretty much drive electric cars now as you would a petrol or diesel car, you know? Even in places like Australia, where the uptake is so far behind compared to Britain, America, you know, Scandinavia, for example, you can still do it. So generally, if you buy an electric car, the idea is you charge up at home and then you drive around. And if you need to, you can charge up at a motorway service station. So that's number 3. So there are enough places to charge if you consider your home, which should be your base, really. Number 4 on my list, you need to change the batteries every few years, which is similar but not the same as number 1. Yeah, that really, people believe you need to change the batteries all the time. They're not really concerned about what happens to the batteries. They're just annoyed about the fact that they think they're going to have to spend $20,000 every 3 or 4 years to change the batteries. So that's not good. But of course that still gets said a lot, but a lot of people are buying them, electric cars, and these things will get mentioned a lot, and they'll eventually drop out of conversations around the world. But it is very common, like I said, now, literally a daily basis. I read this. Number 5, they're dangerous because they start fires. Yeah, most people in the world drive around with a tank full of flammable liquid, like oil or petrol. Petrol. They drive around with 40 litres of petrol in their car. That's crazy. So electric batteries can start fires. As of 2023 now, January 3rd, LFP batteries are coming in, and there are some other ones like next year, sodium ion batteries. These are super safe batteries. It's like the next generation of lithium ion technology. So you know, lithium ion batteries, they you know, electric cars generally, they're super safe. You know, they wouldn't make them otherwise. But it is possible that they could set on fire in the right conditions, and they have, just through bad engineering or bad you know, some bad coincidence. You know, somebody's bought the wrong car, it was badly made, or something's gone on inside the batteries. You know, they're quite complex, but that almost never happens, ever. So but this sort of stuff happens with cars. If you remember the new version of the Mini, when that first came out, people were going to the petrol station, and there was some sort of spark being created by the back bumper, and it was igniting them. So BMW Mini had to recall them all. It's like a big deal. That wasn't that long ago. There are all sorts of weird little things that happen like that. So yeah, you know. So just a little bit on LFP batteries. LFP batteries, I have another video, I'll put a link up here. Lithium iron phosphate is according to Elon Musk and lots of other people around the world, is the battery of the future, but you can get it now. It's not as mass produced as other batteries at the minute, because it's not made that transition yet to become like the definition of a car battery, but it will be, we think, soon. So you can go out now and buy BYD electric cars like the Atto 3, or some Teslas are now starting to ship with LFP batteries. They're a sort of battery that they don't have nickel and they don't have cobalt in them, so the chemistry is more environmentally friendly, technically less energy dense, but when you build the battery packs in the way that you, I don't know, like the BYD have a blade battery, in the same sort of space, you'll get more energy, or the same sort of energy in there, even though the actual bits that make up the battery cells is less energy dense. You can pierce the batteries with a nail. It's the only battery, by the way, to be able to take that test. And all that happens is there's no smoke, no smell, no fire. It just gets warm between 30 and 60 degrees Celsius on the surface of the battery. You can bend them, you can charge them to 260%, you can heat them up in a furnace to 300 degrees Celsius, you can run them over. They're basically indestructible. Technically, I'm sure there'll be something you can do, but I mean, that's kind of crazy to say that's a battery. So that's why LFP batteries are the preference. If ever I look for something now, I hope that it has LFP batteries in it, because they're awesome. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. If you didn't, give it two dislikes. And subscribe if you want to stay tuned for more videos. I make videos every day, and I try and make them super interesting. I try not to make boring videos. Yeah, any questions? I read every comment and I reply to almost every comment. So and I get notifications on my watch constantly. So any comments, just put them below. If you think I'm wrong, put it below. But this is this is what I think is the top 5 myths about electric cars. I don't think anyone's really, I don't think there are universities that have put together a sort of comprehensive list in an order, because it'd be a kind of waste of time. But maybe there are people doing research on this. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one.